This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, Filipina tennis standout Alex Eala cruised into the second round of the Madrid Open after a dominant straight sets victory over Russian veteran Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. The Blackwater Bossing halt a 4-game skid by surviving a late rally from the San Miguel Beermen in tonight's PBA Season 50 Commissioner's Cup. Vanie Gandler underscores the need for adjustments and a quick reset as the Cignal HD Spikers look to bounce back from a straight sets loss to the Creamline Cool Smashers in the PVL All-Filipino Finals. LeBron James powers the short-handed Los Angeles Lakers to another monumental win over the Houston Rockets, seizing a stunning 2-0 lead in their first-round playoff series. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 22nd of April. Now, here's our roundup brought to you by the Philippine Sports Commission, the Philippine Olympic Committee, and the NST IAC. Filipina tennis star Alex Eala completed a comprehensive victory over Russian veteran Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova to march to the second round of the Madrid Open Wednesday. Eala scored an impressive 6-3, 6-3 win over Pavlyuchenkova to progress in the clay court tournament. It was a strong performance from the Filipina star as she took care of business against the 34-year-old Pavlyuchenkova, who had advanced through the qualifying round. The Russian had struggled early in the season, dropping all of her 6 matches before the Madrid Open. Meantime, Eala will face a tougher test in the second round against world number 21 Elise Mertens of Belgium. Blackwater snapped a 4-game losing streak in style, taking down San Miguel 126-120 in the PBA Season 50 Commissioner's Cup Wednesday night at the Ninoy Aquino Stadium. The Bossing blew a 22-point lead after a strong third-quarter fight back from the Beermen, but held their ground in a tense finish. Christian David and Cedric Bearfield sparked the go-ahead run from a 114-113 deficit, while BJ Andrade delivered key hustle plays to push the lead to 6 with just over a minute left. Robert Upshaw, the third, then sealed the win at the line, giving interim head coach Pat Aquino his first victory with the team. Meanwhile, new addition CJ Austria made an immediate impact in his PBA debut, finishing with 11 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists in 25 minutes. Austria, who was activated just hours before tip-off, drew praise from coach Pat Aquino.
CJ is a very high IQ player. I've been seeing him play in LaSalle, and I know he can do a lot for us. You know, defensively is there. You know, make him make it easy for some of them. Like said, you know, we need somebody who's hustling and doing other stuff. You know, and just happy to have him. And of course, you know, just moving forward again. Lahat na.
The former LaSalle standout was recently signed after entering the unrestricted free agent pool, providing a timely boost for Blackwater's campaign. Rain or shine, 7-game win streak comes to an end, but Coach Yeng Giao isn't making too much of the setback. Here's Zeus Valdez with the details.
Rain or shine, head coach Yeng Giao is taking his team's latest loss in stride after a 7-game win streak in the PBA Commissioner's Cup. Giao said the defeat was expected, citing the law of averages after the Elasto Painters fell to Phoenix 87-83 Tuesday night at the Ninoy Aquino Stadium, despite leading by as many as 18 points. Rain or shine struggled defensively, shooting just 30% from the field, with import Jalen Johnson finishing with only 12 points on 5 of 25 shooting. Giao admitted the streak was bound to end, but believes the loss could help ease pressure on the team.
It's good while it lasted, no? Mangyayari naman talaga yon mapuputol at some point. We knew there was going to be a bad night one of these days. It's time to reset, no? Nakaano ka na, nakapanalo ka na ng 7 beses. You lose one, maybe you can look forward to another win streak.
Meanwhile, rain or shine also felt the absence of point guard Felix Limeti, who missed the game due to a left knee concussion. Limeti has been a key contributor during the team's winning run, averaging 11.2 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 3 assists.
Na-miss namin si Felix, medyo bumagal kami nung nawala siya. Tapos yung defense din niya, na-miss namin yung contain yung mga guardia rin ng kabila.
Limeti suffered the injury in their previous win over Carapirma and remains doubtful for their next game against Magnolia on Saturday. Reporting for the Scorecard, I am Zeus Valdez, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Cignal looks to reset after a tough start in the PBL All-Filipino Finals. The HD Spikers aim to bounce back in Game 2 after a straight sets loss to Creamline in the series opener at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. Vanie Gandler admitted the team was overwhelmed but stressed the need to move forward and make adjustments in a do-or-die setting. Gandler says the focus now is on improving heading into the next match.
It's a tough loss, but it's game 1. It's a best of 3 series for a reason. We're just moving forward and
Meanwhile, Creamline relied on the big numbers produced by Gemma Galanza, Bernadette Pons, and setter Gia de Guzman in front of over 8,000 fans. For her part, Erica Santos expects a much stronger response from Cignal.
Hindi yung Cignal eh. Kinapos talaga eh. So, kailangan namin i-level up yung team namin and yung bawat isa kung ano yung level ng championship. So yeah, magtatrabaho and naaralin namin kung paano namin ma-overcome yung ganon.
Game 2 is set tomorrow at the same venue, with Cignal fighting to extend the series and force a winner-take-all Game 3. National University clinched the number 2 seed in the UAAP Season 88 Women's Volleyball Tournament after pulling off a stunning reverse sweep against the University of Santo Tomas Golden Tigresses on Wednesday. The Lady Bulldogs rallied from 2 sets down to win 19-25, 23-25, 25-18, 25-18, 15-13, finishing the eliminations at 10 and 4. Ara Panique led the charge with 24 points. Rookie Sam Cantada added 20, while Vange Alinsug delivered 13 markers, including the match-winning hit. NU showed composure in the 5th, recovering from a late collapse before sealing the win off an Alinsug attack. UST, meanwhile, drops to a playoff against Far Eastern University for the last semi spot after both teams ended at 8 and 6. The Philippines is set to compete in the Asian Beach Games in China. PSC Chairman Patrick Gregorio expressed confidence in the country's 101-strong delegation as the 6th Asian Beach Games open in Sanya. Gregorio said he is optimistic the Filipino athletes can compete with the best in Asia and encouraged them to give their all in the hunt for medals. The Games mark the return of the event after a 10-year hiatus, with the next edition set to be hosted by Cebu in 2028. Gregorio added the Philippines is ready to take on the challenge of hosting as it pushes to become a sports tourism hub. Sean Gibbons said Mark Magsayo is open to any opponent as momentum builds toward a potential clash with unbeaten Andres Cortez following their recent victories. Here's Zeus Valdez with the details.
MP Promotions Chief Sean Gibbons says he is open to any opponent for Mark Magsayo as the Filipino continues his run in the lightweight division. One possible matchup is against Andres Cortez, who scored a points victory in facing Magsayo, who delivered a 5th-round technical knockout of Ireland's Fergal McCrary in the same card.
Mark Magsayo, Zufa Boxing, all lightweights. Andreas Cortez, Rayo Valenzuela, Eduardo De Los Santos. Lightweights at Zuffa is Mark's weight. He feels the best at that weight. And yeah, he's open for everybody and anybody.
A former featherweight world champion, Magsayo, has signed a 3-fight deal with Zuffa Boxing, but fights outside the promotion remains possible. He is currently ranked number 5 by the IBF and number 12 by the WBC. Reporting for the Scorecard, I am Zeus Valdez, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Multiple storylines continue to develop in the NBA playoffs as the Los Angeles Lakers take a 2-0 series lead. The Philadelphia 76ers even their matchup, and the Portland Trail Blazers capitalize on a shift in momentum. The Lakers secured a 101-94 win over the Houston Rockets behind 28 points from LeBron James. Luka Doncic was also recognized with the scoring title prior to tip-off. In the East, the 76ers responded with a 111-97 victory over the Boston Celtics to level the series. VJ Edgecombe led the way with 30 points and 10 rebounds, while Tyrese Maxey added 29. Philadelphia managed the win despite the absence of Joel Embiid. In San Antonio, the series shifted after Victor Wembanyama exited with a concussion scare. The Blazers took advantage, coming back from 14 points down to win 106-103. Scoot Henderson finished with 31 points as the series was tied at 1 game apiece. Meanwhile, let's take another look at today's playoff results. Up next, with Alex Eala delivering a poised, methodical win over former top player Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova at the Madrid Open, does this performance signal a breakthrough in her clay court game? And how telling will her next challenge against Elise Mertens be in measuring that progress? Well-known tennis head analyst Max Kilham will join us later and discuss this latest feat of Alex Eala when we return right here on The Scorecard. Welcome back to The Scorecard. After a composed and convincing straight sets win at the Madrid Open, where Alex Eala showcased one of her most controlled performances on clay against Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, has the Filipina turned a corner in her development? And how significant is this result heading into a tougher second-round test against Elise Mertens? Joining us to discuss Eala's latest feat is the very respected tennis head analyst, Max Kilham. Max, thank you so much for joining us once again on the show.
Thanks for having me on, Anton.
Max, how much of this straight sets victory was about Alex Eala's growth on clay versus a favorable matchup against Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, especially considering the latter's experience but current ranking drop?
Yeah, well, I think first we have to mention how well Alex played today. I mean, she showed an excellent level of consistency on her serve, which has been a weakness in the past. And I think the most important thing was a lack of unforced errors, really, compared to Pavlyuchenkova, who hit a plethora of unforced errors throughout the match. It really was a quite consistent performance, especially on the clay. Obviously, Pavlyuchenkova had the medical timeout early, so we're not quite sure how that affected her moving forward, whether she had to take more chances. So I think it was a mix of the two. I think Alex played well, but obviously her opponent might have been hindered a little bit and certainly hit way more unforced errors than she would have hoped.
Now, Max, specifically, did you see any improvements in Eala's clay court game? Like maybe her movement, shot selection, or point construction? And how would you compare this to her previous runs in Madrid?
I thought her movement was really good today, actually. I'm really impressed by sort of how she covered the court. Obviously, Pavlyuchenkova is one of the biggest hitters on the tour. She's been on the tour for the best part of for 15 years, really. And some of the winners she hit today were absolutely massive, really. But Eala managed to retrieve a lot of those balls, kept the ball in play, kept it moving, made sure to use some more spinny balls when pushed back to give herself a bit more time. And obviously, I think actually more so than the movement was Alex's ability to sort of maintain her composure throughout the match. Pavlyuchenkova made it a very erratic contest with the way she was striking the ball throughout, and Eala did really well to maintain sort of her level, maintain her composure throughout the contest in spite of those sort of limited opportunities to develop any sort of rhythm throughout.
Max, you mentioned earlier the medical timeout. Now, Alex was able to stay composed after this and the late break point chances. What does this say about Alex's mental maturity and her ability to adapt with these unexpected things happening within the match?
I think it says a lot. I think, once again, it's proven that Alex is able to deal with sort of pressurized moments and moments of uncertainty in a match. I think we've seen it on numerous occasions now. We've seen it at the US Open against Clara Tauson last year. We saw it in Miami last year. We saw it against Alexandra Sasnovich in Abu Dhabi earlier this year, where she came back from a unthinkable scoreline, really. And it seems that whatever's thrown Alex's way throughout any of these contests, it's sort of dealt with, and then she moves on. It doesn't linger in the back of her mind. She very easily moves on from things and keeps her composure and doesn't let any instances of things out of her control. She doesn't let any of them affect her, and I think that's a testament to how well she's done in such a short space of time.
Now, despite this being a dominant win for Alex Eala, did you see any areas for improvement, any possible weaknesses for Eala?
I think it's very difficult to identify any weaknesses in particular in this match. As I said previously, it was a very, very erratic contest. Not a huge amount of long rallies, which is something you're normally more accustomed to on the clay surface. And in reality, I think we'll find out a lot more from her next few contests. Elise Mertens up next, who's a more consistent player than Pavlyuchenkova. We'll probably find out a little bit more about Alex's movement on the clay and whether she can mix it up a little bit more. I think today really was sort of staying in the contest and trying to sort of find a way through it in spite of how Pavlyuchenkova was playing and trying to disrupt the rhythm of Alex.
Now, Alex has had mixed results this season. This is her first win in 3 matches. So how important is this victory in establishing consistency for Eala? And does it maybe stabilize or like signal that she's stabilizing her level on the tour?
I think, again, it's difficult to say after that match. It's she's obviously, it's been mixed results on the clay, but it has only been 3 matches. She's won 1 in 3. She played, I mean, she's lost to Yelena Ostapenko, who's one of the best clay court players on the tour. And I don't think we can draw too many conclusions about her overall play. Match wins at this stage of her career are just incredibly important, no matter what the surface is, really. And she's proven that throughout this year, that she can win on any surface, because she has done. So I think we'll find out, like I said previously, a little bit more as we get further into the tournament. And I think she has a great opportunity to go far in Madrid. Obviously, in her section of the draw, we've had Amanda Anisimova pull out and Ekaterina Alexandrova, both of whom were seeds. So the draws open up a little bit, and it's there to be taken advantage of. And Alex could be the player to do that if the stars align.
So you mentioned Elise Mertens, who will be Alex's opponent in the next match. What tactical adjustments do you think Alex Eala must make to get another win and possibly pull off this upset?
As you said earlier, Mertens is a very consistent player, and I think Alex should look to use her first strike tennis, as she often does. I think get on the front foot, don't let Mertens develop any rhythm, and try and take the initiative from the off, try and put her on the back foot and move her outside of her comfort zone, really, and really attack Mertens' serve. Obviously, Eala is going to need to serve well herself, and I think she showed signs of serving really well today. So I think it's certainly a possibility that Eala moves on past Mertens. They've only played once before, which was at a 250 event in 2023 in Tunisia. Mertens won that match, but obviously that's a long, long time ago, and Alex was a very young player at that stage in the sort of start of her career on the tour. So, yeah, it should be an interesting contest, but I think taking the initiative in every rally, I think that's the way forward.
Max, now let's say Alex Eala does win against Elise Mertens. How will that help her rankings-wise?
I mean, she should take a jump. She reached the second round last year, so she's already matched her current. She's already matched basically the ranking points, so she's defended them all from last year, which is really helpful. So anything from now is a massive boost for her, especially at a WTA 1000 event where the further you go, there's bigger jumps in ranking points. So I don't know the specific numbers off the top of my head, but if she beats Mertens, she's going to gain some ranking points, probably in the 50 to 100 range, and that will certainly give her a boost up the rankings. And anything at this stage is beneficial ahead of the French Open. She'll really be wanting to push for a seeded spot there, because it's just such a valuable thing to have at the Grand Slams, because you can draw, if you're not seeded, you can draw someone very close to the seeded places, unfortunately. So, yeah, I think that's, if she continues to progress, I don't see why she couldn't be a seed.
So, with that said, you think she's on the right path? You think she's on track for Roland Garros?
Yeah, I certainly think so. I think she didn't have a huge amount of points to defend coming into the clay court swing this year, so any points gained are great. And I think, as I said, the draws opened up in Madrid. She's got the ability to play on clay. We saw that today. She's got very high ability on clay, and I think she's proven that, as she has on all surfaces at this point. So, yeah, I think she's definitely got the potential to go on a really good run in Madrid, and then we'll see moving forward.
All right, Max, thank you so much for sharing your time with us and expert analysis on Alex Eala and, of course, her next match moving forward against Elise Mertens. Max Kilham of Tennis Head here on the Scorecard. Thank you so much, Max. Up next, a sweep or a comeback. Creamline closes in. Cignal looking to equalize in the 2026 PBL All-Filipino Conference Finals. We'll break down that matchup when we return right here on The Scorecard. Welcome back to The Scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. It's do or die for Cignal and one win away from glory for Creamline. Game 2 of the 2026 PBL All-Filipino Conference Finals is set, and the title could be decided tomorrow. Creamline didn't just take Game 1, it delivered a statement. In a swift, clinical sweep, the Creamline Cool Smashers showcased championship composure, dismantling the Cignal HD Spikers in just over an hour and a half to seize control of the 2026 PBL All-Filipino Conference Finals. Now, the series shifts to the Smart Araneta Coliseum for Game 2, and it could very well be Coronation Night. Creamline eyes its 11th title armed with momentum, rhythm, and years of finals experience. Cignal, meanwhile, is staring at a must-win scenario, needing not just adjustments, but a full reset after a shaky debut on the league's biggest stage. Coach Sherwin Meneses sees the quick turnaround as an advantage. After a dominant 25-22, 25-18, 25-16 victory, the Cool Smashers conserved both energy and focus, giving them the luxury to refine and not rebuild. Meneses is stressing rest is crucial, but so is staying locked in. The system continues to run with precision, with Gia de Guzman orchestrating the offense, distributing to Gemma Galanza, Tots Carlos, and a disciplined front line. For Creamline, it's not about an overhaul, it's about finishing the job. Now, over on the other side, let's not expect Cignal to go out quietly. Despite committing 22 errors in Game 1, the HD Spikers showed flashes of brilliance, particularly from Jel Cayuna, who challenged early with aggressive playmaking. Head coach Shaq De Los Santos knows the task is steep but not impossible. For Cignal to extend the series, the formula is clear. Stabilize reception, minimize unforced errors, and match Creamline's composure point by point. Because if they don't, Game 2 won't just decide the match, it could end the finals. Creamline is chasing history, Cignal is fighting for survival. This is the PVL Finals, and everything is on the line. And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow on the Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This is Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good night.